Air Force Base in the country. When they decommissioned that base, they dumped huge amounts of jet fuel into the groundwater table. And now I represented a woman a year ago who went to Victorville, drank the water, and got an astrocytoma. Well, jet fuel in water causes people to get this cancer called astrocytoma, which attacks the brain and the spinal column. So the bottom line is, if you get into the prison system, you're likely to end up in a prison where you will catch cancer, and you'd be lucky to live 6 months, maximum 2 years. So they've got a plan for extermination. It's not the gas chambers and ovens, but it is astrocytoma after drinking jet fuel water, and they will not, the Bureau of Prisons are not going to do anything about it. They're not going to close that. They keep people there, and they keep them drinking the water and bathing in it, and the history is all over the internet. It's very sad.
It's I talk a lot about on the show. There's so many aspects of this. One of them is the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, they are using that to drug people and kill us. Gets a lot of cure cancer here.
You understand that people that the AMA and the American Psychological Society have gotten together, and they have determined that there's the new mental sickness called healthy eating disorder. And there's Senate Bill 510 that's just been passed by the Senate, which is going to over-regulate health food centers, people that freezer and sell health food. They want to go after the farmers markets. They're going after people who have garage sales. I mean, if freedom in this country is being constricted to a smaller and smaller circle to the point where it's going to be obliterated, and it won't take long. So now is the chance for your listeners to make a small contribution that will make a huge difference, because we need Edgar Steele out of jail and advocating for the common man and our constitutional rights.
And I have that up. I have that up on the website now, and folks, people will be going to hear the show all day long. If you've got a email list, you can save the show, folks. You can save the show. Click on the Blog Talk player, save it as an MP3 file, save to your default player at the bottom of the box, and that'll download it to your machine. You can forward it to other people. We need to get Edgar out. We need to get him the best defense as possible. They, I've always referred to myself, and Edgar falls in this category too, as the canary in the coal mine. When they come after us because we're outspoken, because we're pretty fearless about telling you the truth about what's going on, who's behind the New World Order, then if they take us out, they are coming after you next.
Oh, and I can attest to that. I would have never believed that I'd be in this situation with my husband in jail, because he's never done anything wrong. He did not do this. And we've lived, outside of his outspokenness, we have lived a normal family life with good values, high integrity, and, and it's happened, and it's happening. And most of the people that I know in my family, I mean, they can't believe that it's happening because they know who we are. It's so surreal to them.
It's hard for people to accept. J. Edgar Hoover told us it's beyond the capability of most people to understand when they come face to face with a conspiracy so evil and so vast, they just can't comprehend it. And that's what we're facing here.
And that's why this case is so important. Any case like this is so important, but we've got to put a stop to it. We've got to we got to make a stand here and say we're not going to allow you to get away with this, or more people, innocent people, are going to end up right where my husband is.
Was his book now defensive racism? I've talked with him about it on my show. We've talked about the book, and was that selling? I've got 3 books out, and I'm not selling many because I'm blocked in libraries. There seems to be some type of blacklist on us. Did Edgar experience that too in trying to sell his book?
Oh, he's, it's slow and it's struggling. And if people would read the book, they would realize there's a lot of information in that book that makes sense. In fact, what's scary is that a lot of the things that he predicted when he first wrote that book has been coming true. What's scarier is what he predicts we're headed for if we don't stand up. That is even scarier. And it's not, it's not the radical book that they want to make it out to be. And, if anybody's interested, I invite you to read it. And if you're interested, I will tell you that any books that I'm selling are going to the Defense Fund. And that book is available on our website.
Okay, and we got the that'll be on the Free Edgar Steele website.
That book is available on the free-edgar-steele.com website.
That's up on my website now, right below the show. So, folks, order Edgar's book, make a donation. And I need the same thing. I need your backing. I need your support to be able to do this show every day for 5 days a week. And I've been doing it for 20 years, except for that little 3-month period where I was drugged into unconsciousness. It's we're Edgar and I both, and people like Mark Cornke, people like David Duke, are fighting to tell you the truth. This isn't hate speech. This isn't anti-Semitism. We're trying to tell you the truth about criminals that have already ripped you personally off for $2 trillion. That was enough money to pay for every mortgage in America, but it went to bankers so they could have $1 million bonuses. And Wesley, let me bring you into this. I'm not usually very kind to lawyers, so but I appreciate finding a lawyer that will stand up for somebody like Edgar, somebody like Cindy here. I really appreciate that, and my hat's off to you, sir.
Well, you know what? I was very, very concerned. When I first saw the articles on Edgar Steele, I knew it was exactly the same program that they have used on David Hinkson. And here's David Hinkson, who is a person who believes in liberty, he was a radio talk show host back in the 90s.
I remember him. I remember him. I know him. I've had him on my show before. I've been broadcasting for almost 20 years.
Well, and so David gets targeted by the government, and they use the same exact techniques. There's a new book coming out by David's father, whose name is Roland Hinkson, and the book is an exact expose of all the lies they told. They did the same thing. They kept changing up. They'd invent one set of lies against him, and that didn't work. They'd invent another, and then another. And so we have exposed in this book the exact things that they did to David Hinkson and the techniques that they used in order to try to bring down a targeted person. And I just hope and pray that your listeners are willing to step up and say, this really is at my front door, and it's time to do something about it. I don't think $10 is asking a whole lot, and if we don't raise the money, we're in a critical time period. We've just got a little bit of time left. And if we don't get the money raised, I'm afraid we may lose this attorney's interest. And he is a fabulous attorney that could turn this case around. So please, if you can put out an appeal to your listeners,